Record. Great to see everyone this morning. Good morning. If you will make your way to a comfortable seated position on your mat, that could be a cross-legged position. It might be um, sitting. Some people like to sit on their legs. If you need to sit with your feet a little bit out in front of you, but whatever is comfortable for you to begin to settle in. Go ahead and shrug your shoulders up and then let them fall down your back and just relax. And go ahead and close your eyes. You can move your chin a little bit closer to your chest. Your hands can be resting on your knees, whatever's comfortable for you. And take a moment just to check in. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hips, relax your knees, relax your feet, your ankles, and let everything go. And we're going to take a moment of silence here just to breathe. You can pay, if your mind starts to wander, just come back to the breath, coming in and out of your nose, your natural breath. Go ahead and bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. You can keep your eyes closed. You can have them gently open, whatever's more comfortable in your body. And go ahead and on your next exhale, seal your lips and inhale slowly all the way up through your belly, your chest, past your throat. Imagine all the way to the top of your head. When you get to the top, see if you can take one more sip of air and then open your mouth and sigh it out. When you get to the bottom of your breath, go ahead and pause for a moment, seal your lips, and breathe in slowly through your nose again, all the way up to the top of your head. And again, open your mouth and sigh it out. Seal your lips and inhale again slowly. This time when you get to the top, keep your lips sealed, but keep that growling in the back of your throat, that ujjayi breath, and breathe and sigh out. We will practice this breath at your own pace with your own breath. You are welcome to practice this breath where it's equal in and out with a slight pause, or you can practice square breathing where the pause is the same, where you're holding and inhaling. So go ahead and practice what your body needs this morning to your own breath. Keep your lips sealed for all of this and keep that growling at the back of your throat when you exhale. And come back to your natural breath. I thought we would try something a little bit different for one of our pranayama breathing techniques that I learned in India. So have a tissue nearby. I'm going to move it closer to the camera just to show you how to set up. It's the same breath of fire, except we're going to practice in one nostril and then the other again. Have a tissue ready. What you're going to do is you're going to use your ring finger and your thumb, so you can just bend down your pointer finger and your index finger. So your ring finger will be on your left nostril, your thumb will be on your right. And what you're going to do is first seal your right nostril, and we'll just practice doing about 20 of these. And we'll breathe in and out that breath of fire like we've been doing with some exercise, but we'll just sit calmly and we'll do through one nostril. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down. So go ahead and cover your right nostril with your thumb. And you can close your eyes if you like, leave them open if you want. And we're going to breathe about 20 times in and out very quickly. Breath of fire. Again, have a tissue or a hanky ready. Okay, then come back to your natural breath. And we will do that on the other nostril about 20 times. And so we'll practice here. So cover your left nostril or the opposite one with your ring finger this time. And just relax. This is a great practice to do to clear out your sinuses and to get the air going. It's also a great practice if any of you all practice neti pot, which is that cleansing with the pot of your sinuses with the salty water. This is what I learned in India. If you do practice neti pot, you do these kinds of breathings right after, and then you do the breath with both nostrils. But let's add some of our arm motions with that. So let's shrug our shoulders first, and we'll do about 20 here with just the same kind of breath with both nostrils this time, inhaling up and exhaling down with your shoulders. So take about 20 here. And then come back to your natural breath. Next, we will practice the one where we are opening on the inhale and closing on the exhale. Remember, not banging your arms together. So again, 20 here. All right, and coming back to our natural breath. Next, we will punch the sky with that loose fist with your thumbs out. So on the inhale, up, and on the exhale, elbows down. So go ahead and start at your own pace, counting to about 20. All right, and then let's go ahead and catch your breath in your natural breath for just a moment. And on the inhale, up, and on the exhale, right hand behind you, left hand on your right knee. Let's twist over our shoulder. Let's take a few breaths here. Just hold this. And on the inhale, pull, twist a little more deeply. And on the exhale, you can relax. See if you can look over your right shoulder if that works. And remember, on the inhale, see if you could twist a little bit more. So your hips are staying on the ground and your torso is twisting, your shoulders are twisting. On the next inhale, let's come back to center, a nice stretch up. You can look up, and we will twist the other way. Right hand on your left knee, left hand behind you. And on the inhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. And on the exhale, relax a little bit. Inhale, twisting. Exhale, relaxing. And breathe in and out. Keep your lips sealed. And breathe in and out through your nose. And on the inhale, come back to center. And we will move down to our backs. And when you get here, hug your knees into your chest. You can hold on to your shins. You can grasp your hands. You can even grasp your elbows if you like. And give your lower back a gentle massage by rolling back and forth. Go ahead and send your left leg long, and we'll draw those circles on the ceiling with our right knee, hand on your right knee, drawing those big circles, really waking up that hip socket this morning. And then we'll draw those circles the other way. And come back to center and hug that knee in towards your armpit. On the inhale, on the exhale, let your shoulders and everything go. Inhale, pull. Exhale, relax. Inhale, pull. Exhale, relax. And send your right leg down to meet your left, and then bring your left knee in, left hand on your kneecap, and draw those big circles nice and slowly. Keep breathing while you're doing this. Take nice deep breaths in and out, and then draw the circles the other way. And send your left foot down to meet your right. And go ahead and take a good morning stretch up and over. And then bring your knees in again and take your wrists up here almost like you're riding a motorcycle. And you can point your toes and then and your wrists, and then flex everything back towards your head. So we'll like on the so go ahead and flex and twist and breathe. So on the inhale, point, exhale, flex. And go ahead with your breath and inhaling and exhaling, slowly bringing that back and forth. All right, now let's do some ankle twists and wrist twists so that you can do everything together in the same direction. Keep breathing. And go in the other direction. We are going to meet in standing. So however you want to get there, if you are like to do, put your hands on the back of your thighs. You can roll. This is a good spinal roll. If it works in your body, you can roll all the way up to your shoulders a few times if you like. And then when you are ready, however you want to get there, we will meet in standing. Remember, your feet should be about hip width apart. A good way to measure that is a couple of fists in between your feet. And check out your toes, make sure that they are facing forward. We're going to do a little balancing this morning. And again, sometimes if your mat is very thick, you might want to move to a little bit less padding underneath you if you like. So this morning, go ahead and kind of bend that left knee. We're going to come up on our right foot. Go ahead and lift your toes and put them back down. And with a good little bit of a bend in your left knee, go ahead and see. And by the way, you can be by the wall if you want to touch the wall once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and so go ahead and cross your right ankle just above your left knee. And so we're in this standing figure four. Later we will be practicing this on the floor. And you can send your arms up if you like. You can, for a challenge, start to bend forward towards the floor. You can actually keep going and touch the floor if you would like. Go all the way down and touch the floor for more stability. If you fall out, just get right back in. And go ahead and bring your knee to the front, and then we'll send our right foot down to meet the left, and you can kind of walk back and forth gently. And we'll practice that on the other side. Remember, in yoga, there's no wrong side. If you do the other side, just do the other side. So this time, a little bit of a bend in our right knee. You can lift your right toes up and put them down. Cross your left ankle above your right knee in that figure four, so your knee is going out towards your side. You can have your hands at heart center. You can reach up if you like. You can bring your hands back to heart center if you like, and start to bend forward at the waist. If you fall out, like I just did, get back in. Look at something that is not moving, and that will help your stability. If you're moving a little bit, that's okay. Practicing balance is really an important thing, especially as we are getting older, to be able to hold that balance. So practicing a little bit of balance, just a few seconds every day, can help. All right, go ahead and inhale, and we'll stretch up all the way up, and then hands out to the side like an airplane, a very good bend in your knees. And come all the way down until your belly is resting on your thighs. You can grab for opposite elbows. You can sway side to side. You can work on stretching your legs or not. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands onto the floor. And then if it works in your body, take your hands, leave your hips facing forward, and walk your hands over to the right. So your hips are not moving, just your torso here for a nice twist. Come back to center. We'll walk our hands the other way. Again, leaving your hips forward, and just twisting to the left. Come back to center, and let's let everything go again with this ragdoll pose. You can have your belly on your thighs, or you can have your legs a little bit more straight. Just don't lock your knees if you get all the way to straight legs. Let your head, neck, and shoulders just go and breathe. And go ahead and let your hands dangle down. Come up very slowly. Your head will be the last thing to come up. Come up one vertebrae at a time until your head is the last thing to come up. You can take another stretch. And we're going to meet in tabletop on the floor with our hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. Remember to claw your hands. You don't want to put all of that weight on your wrists. So claw your finger pads so that your fingers are doing some of the work and not just your wrist here. If you look and see your toes as you're looking down, scooch them out so that you don't see them. Let's practice some cat and cows. So on the inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And on the exhale, nice and slow, arch into cat. You can come up on your fingertips here for a little bit more of a stretch. And on the inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And inhale. And exhale, cat. We'll meet back in that neutral tabletop. Wag your right hip to the right and look over your right shoulder. And on the inhale, come to center. And on the exhale, go to the other side. You might want to let's go around in circles. We're coming back towards your heels and kind of coming all the way around. Very slowly a couple of times, and then let's go the other way. And then we'll meet in a neutral tabletop after you come around. And then it's your yogi's choice. If you want to continue doing cats and cows or any stretch here that feels good, it might feel good to send your legs out. This is your opportunity. If you do practice downward dog, you can tuck your toes and send your hips up, reaching your heels toward the ground. You can walk the dog here. So you can continue doing cat and cow or any kind of stretch that you can do from that point that your body needs before we move into our first yin pose of the day. If you do practice flow, you can come into plank. If you want some strength challenge here, you can come into plank. You can always come down to your knees. You might still be doing cat and cow, whatever works for you. So we'll take a few more breaths here. Yogi's choice, whatever it is that you are doing. And we are going to meet in a seated position with our legs out in front of us. And we're going to begin. We haven't done this one, very simple one in a while. We were just going to fold forward. If you need to have your knees bent, and they are, put some pillows underneath them. For a lot of people, it feels better to have a towel, rolled up towel or something, and you're right on the edge of it. If you need to have your hips a little higher before you move down. Whatever it is that works in your body to do this forward fold. Go ahead and flex your feet towards your body, towards your torso. And we're going to reach up and just fold forward. By the way, you're also welcome to put a pillow here and totally relax, leaning onto the pillow, or you can just lean forward and let your head go. I'm just going to put my arms at my side, put your arms wherever they're comfortable. So you have your feet relaxed. If you feel any pulling in your lower back out a little bit, flexing your feet towards you can also help to release the lower back. And go ahead and just settle in here and breathe. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your jaw or your shoulders, and just let yourself relax. You might find yourself moving slightly closer to the floor, and just breathe. Go ahead and sit up slowly, one vertebrae at a time, and make your way to your back. And you can bend your knees and bring your feet up closer to your hips. You might be able to touch your heels with your fingertips and kind of scoot your shoulders underneath. And for a counter pose, we're going to lift our hips up off the ground any amount that you can. You can challenge yourself and try to lift them higher and breathe here. This is bridge pose. And we'll come back down. Go ahead, and while you're here, scoot your hips over to the right of your mat and bring your arms, you can send your legs down long. Bring your arms up over your head, and you can make a little box by holding onto your shoulders above your head, and then start to walk your feet towards the bottom right of your mat. And we'll scoot our heads to the top right for that banana pose. You should be getting a good stretch in your left side. So your hips and your shoulders should still be on the ground. If they're popping up, just back out a little bit. If it feels good in your body, or you need more of a stretch, or it helps you with to stay in this, all of our bodies are a little bit different. You can go ahead and take the left leg, and cross it up over your right ankle if that feels good, and should be getting a good stretch. And just settle into this banana asana pose and breathe. Go ahead and unwind and come back to center. You can bend your knees and come back to the center and go ahead and lift your hips up and send them to the right side of your mat. Make the box up over your head again. Send your legs long, and this time walk your legs to the other side, the left. If you did the left the first time, then it's to the right. So, and then we'll send our head, neck, and shoulders up to the left corner of the mat and our feet to the left. Again, if you would like to, you can cross your right leg up and over your left ankle. Your shoulders should be on the mat. Both of your hips should be on the mat. If they're not, and your right one will pop up a little bit if you are crossing your right leg over, but if not, it will be down, but it won't be up very much. So make sure that you are on the mat. You should feel a good stretch in your right side this time. Settle in and relax your shoulders, relax your hips. You can bring your neck a little bit closer to your chest and just relax here and breathe and feel that good stretch on your right side and let gravity do its thing. Let the muscles in your shoulders just totally go. Let them melt into the mat. Let your hips go. Let everything relax and make sure you're breathing. And come back to center. And you can bring your feet back to the mat, and then bring your feet as wide as your mat, and your arms just out to your side. And go ahead and gently, we're going to windshield wiper gently. So you're sending your left knee and your right knee in the same direction at the same time. And just gently, a few breaths, windshield wiper your legs back and forth. This should feel good in your lower back. Let me remind you, if you ever have shooting pain, don't do it. Back out. That's your body telling you no. We are going to make our way to figure four. So if you practice at the wall, like I'm going to, you can make your way to the wall. If you're going to practice in the middle of the floor, you can cross over. Remember, you're going to use your arms if you're not using the wall. So your arm is going to come through that keyhole. Your right elbow will be behind your knee, and you will hold onto your shin and just relax in this way. If you're going to move to the wall, like I am, go ahead and make your way to the wall. Get your hip up against the wall. Doesn't matter which one. Send your legs up. And if you find yourself scooting away from the wall, you can kind of scoot closer. Your hips should be touching the wall. And then go ahead and cross your right ankle underneath your left knee. Never on your knee, but underneath your knee. Your arms can just be flopping at your side, relaxed. And then start to walk your left leg down, whichever form of this that you are doing. Try to keep your knee, your leg, so that it is parallel with the wall, so that your knee is going out, your foot is there. And then just let everything relax. If you feel any pain, you can back out. If this doesn't work for you at all, if you have any hip issues, you can practice legs up the wall if you like, or you can just relax in Shavasana on the floor. So whatever works in your body, go ahead and take it. If you're taking figure four with me, you should feel a good stretch in your right hip. And relax and breathe. Move your chin a little closer to your chest and just totally relax your shoulders. Let them go into the ground. Relax your hips, relax your feet, relax your legs. You might find yourself sinking a little bit more deeply into the ground, into the pose, and breathe. Make sure you're breathing. Go ahead and unwind. If you're at the wall like I am, you can send your legs up the wall for a stretch. It might feel good to point and flex your toes. If you're on the floor, you can just send your legs out long. You can take a stretch up overhead if that feels good in your body. Point and flex a little bit very slowly before we move to the other side. Go ahead and take your left ankle below your right or your opposite side. Go ahead and again, if you're on the floor without the wall, your left arm this time will go through that keyhole and you will clasp your hands below your knee on your shin. And you can find that position that way. If you're at the wall like I am, just start to walk your foot down the wall, arms at your side, totally relaxed. This side, I can guarantee, will feel different than the other side. Fun fact about this pose is that it's getting blood circulation into parts of your hip joint that you don't usually in your normal life, just walking along, and it's really good for your hips. So go ahead and relax and breathe. Relax your shoulders, breathe. go ahead and unwind. Again, if you're at the wall, stretch with your legs up the wall. You might point and flex. If you're on the floor, just your legs out in front of you. If you would like, you can stretch your arms up and over your head. Feeling a good stretch here. If you're on the floor, you're already in the right place. If you're at the wall like I am, you can go ahead and move to your favorite side around through that yogi fetal position until you find yourself on the floor. And we're going to practice twist this morning, our digestive system, massaging those important internal organs. So if you'll bring your legs up to your chest, we're going to first drop our legs to the right. So just go ahead, leaving your shoulders on the ground. So if your left shoulder is popping up, put some pillows or a pillow underneath your right so that it is not popping up. If you need a little bit more of a twist this morning because you're nice and stretched out, you can cross your right leg up and over your left. I'm sorry, your left leg up and over your right and your other left, and then put it down in the same way. Your left shoulder should remain on the ground. Your arms are out to the side. If it works in your head, neck, and shoulders, you can turn your head to gaze at your left hand and just settle in here and let your shoulders, your hips, your feet, and everything relax and breathe. You should feel a good twist in your left side here and breathe. Come back up through center, and we're going to repeat that on the other side. So this time, bringing your knees up, we're going to drop them to the left or the opposite side. And again, if you need more of a stretch, you can cross that right leg up and over your left before you twist. And this time, if it works in your head, neck, and shoulders, remember both of your shoulders should remain on the mat. So use a pillow if they're popping up underneath your legs. And then this time you will look towards your right hand. Make sure you're not clenching anything. Let your hip totally relax. Let your shoulders relax and just breathe. Slowly unwind and come back to center. It might feel good to hug your knees into your chest and roll on your back again. Happy baby is always good, where you take your feet like you're walking on the ceiling. Your knees are wide towards your hips. You can grab for whatever you can get, your ankles, your shins. If you can get to the outer edge of your feet, that's great. And you can roll back and forth that way. It might feel good to stretch your legs, maybe one at a time, whatever stretch you need before we settle into our final Shavasana. You can stretch around. So go ahead and lie down, arms at your side, either palms up or palms down. Your feet a little wider than hip width, and then just let your feet flop open. You can check out and see how your body is feeling. You can thank yourself for taking this hour on the mat for yourself. Go ahead and just settle in and breathe, relaxing your shoulders, moving your chin a little bit towards your chest, relaxing your torso, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your feet. Let everything go and just breathe. can start to wiggle your fingers and toes, and you can take a nice stretch up over your head, and then turning to your favorite side, take a moment and pause with your head on your favorite arm and in your yogi fetal position, and take a moment and pause here and see how you're feeling. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana back on your back. You're welcome to stay in this yogi fetal position. If you would like, you can slowly make your way up to a seated position. And we'll take maybe another stretch here. You can bring your hands to your knees and just breathe here for a moment. We're going to end with Shanti Shanti. Shanti is peace. If you would like to join in and sing with me, you can. If not, just listen. Singing and singing the Om sound can stimulate our vagus nerve as well, and that also helps to calm down the central nervous system. So I send you all peace, and so on the next inhale, inhale, and then we will sing together. You can put your hands where you want them. I'm going to put mine at heart center. So Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And Namaste, which means I bow to the light in you. That could be interpreted as the soul or just the goodness in you. So I bow to the light in all of you. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. And thank you so much for spending this time on the mat with me. It's great to
Thank
see you
you.
all.
Thanks, Ann. It was great.
Thank you. I'm gonna stop.